check, check. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check, check, check. Yes, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody has audio. That's good. Check, 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 check. You good? Good, 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 good.
Welcome everyone for our introduction of our new head coach, Ron Jans. But before so, Gerard would like to kind of start us off today.
Thank you, Liz. Good morning, everyone. It's good to have you here. This morning, no, it was yesterday already, during the Vet Fest, we introduced our new head coach to our supporters. And this morning to our colleagues who are working here in Milford. because Ron Jans will be from today our new head coach for the next 18 months. We start together to build the foundation of FC Cincinnati, create the philosophy, the playing style and the identity for the future. I'm very happy and pleased that Ron Jans is here and that he's joining us from today's start with his technical team as assistant coach. And I have to say one more time, a big thank you to Johan de Ma, what he did the last almost 3 months as an interim coach, a caretaker for our club. In difficult times, he guides the team, he guides all of us through sometimes very bad weather, but with the head up, with his expertise and quality, he shows us that with his age, has a great future in ahead of us. And we are very pleased that we could extend his contract till December 22. That said, Ron Jans, head coach, assistant coach Johan de Ma, another coach, assistant coach will come, and he's coming also from the Netherlands. Is Ivan van Dinteren. He's working now on his visa. We hope at the end of this week or beginning next week he will also join the team. Complete the team is Jack Stern as a goalkeeper coach, also extend his contract till 22 December. And of course the others who we know already, who are in the club and working hard to create and to implement the philosophy. The moment I start in FC Cincinnati, that was not this week, but that was already earlier. The moment I sign my contract, the first task was, Jeff told me and the others, about to appoint a new head coach who was helping us getting through the future and getting to the new stadium, the West End, in 21. Then you start your search, your head coach search. You're looking, you make an analysis, you observe how the club is, how the team is, and what the needs and the wishes are. And from that point, we get a lot of potential coaches by email, by agents, and we make from the long list, we make a short list. And of course, that's normal, I think. You go also in your own network and analyze people you are working with. And the person left of my side is the person I was working for 4 years, very successful in our former club, Pek Zwolle. And that's not only because we were winning cups, but I think more we build something. We create something together in my role, but especially in the role Ron did for Pek Zwolle at that time. It convinced me that he could be the good person and the right person we have to take on board for our project to build this club to the next level. Ron will explain and tell more about him himself when I give him the floor, but that's the most important thing. At that time, what was in my mind to get Ron in the conversations, not to convince me, because he convinced me already in the past, but to convince the others in FC Cincinnati, Jeff Birding, Mike Ford, Cody Parsons, all talk with, and of course, at the end of the conversations, our owner, Carl Lindner III. That means we sign the contract, we go through the process of the visa, and we are very happy and excited that we can start, that we can make a fresh new start today with all the other members who are working here in Milford and also downtown to build that club in a positive way to the next level. Thank you, and Ron, one more time, thank you for having us, for having you here, and success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I realized then that in the United States I have to introduce myself. I'm well known in Holland. So let's start about my age. I'm 60 years old and I'm married for 37 years with my wife Mayo, the love of my life. We have 3 boys, men. They are average 30 years old, they have girlfriends, and I'm a real family man. But the rest of my life is football. You call it soccer. And I will call it soccer too now. Why am I here? 5 weeks ago, I got a telephone call from Gerard. You call him Gerard. I'm Ron Jans now, not Ron Jans anymore. And he said, are you interested in becoming the head coach of FC Cincinnati? I said, I have to think about that. So I made some phone calls, and that's a big compliment for the MLS. Players from Holland who played in the MLS are very positive about the experience. There's a sports director for one of the clubs in the MLS who was very positive about the potential and the people in Cincinnati. They were less positive about the results. I called some people who worked in soccer in the United States. It was very positive. Then we had a conference call with Cody Parsons from Cincinnati, Mike Ford from New York, and Ron Jans from a small village in Holland, Tinalo. We spoke about 1 hour, and it was very professional, but I thought I was talking to the CIA. It was really going into depth, is that the word? And yeah, I got a little bit excited, and they asked me what was the most important thing to be successful in Cincinnati. I said, you have to convince my wife. Her mother is 88, and is forgetting things, and you don't want to leave her alone. But then Jeff Birding flew from Cincinnati to Amsterdam, talked to us 4 hours, and in the beginning I thought, is he's getting my wife as a head coach or me? He did very well, and then he flew back. And when you fly over for such a trip, you show your interest. But it was not enough. We went for 4 days over here. We saw the game, home game against Houston Dynamo. We've been talking to a lot of people, with Carl Lindner III, with team members, and especially with Johan Damet, because we're going to work together. He did a great job. But I think maybe because of the results, there's a lot on his shoulders. And I'm delighted to take that pressure on my shoulders and work together. And for me, that's again the question, why am I here? I've been a respectable coach on the highest level in Holland for about 15 years. If you want to know the clubs, journalists, do your homework, so you can work also. But after 15 years and a successful period at PEC Zwolle, one of our best friends, he died of cancer, 50 years old, and I thought, this is the time to realize, what do I want with the rest of my career? And I thought I'd take a sabbatical. And then I got a phone call from a general manager from FC Groningen, where I have been coach for 8 years. He said, we need you as a sports director. And I've been a sports director for 2 years. And you have to try, what are you, what do you want to do with your life? But I know now, I'm not a sports director. I'm a coach. I want to be a coach again, so I thought I'd take a sabbatical. And then Gerard called. I had 1 month sabbatical, and I realized I want to work with people who have a plan, who you can trust, and where you can build on something. and they convinced me and my wife to come over. So my greatest desire is to be part of the legacy of making FC Cincinnati a respectable club in the MLS and play playoffs in the future. We've got a contract for 1.5 years, but when you see my history, I stay sometimes longer at places. And that would be nice, because that would mean that we would be successful. And for once, I'm not Ronnie Potter, who has a magic stick, and we win from now all the 10 games that are left. But I want to be part of the progress of the club, and in 1 year time, we have to do better. And I would like to help the club and be part of that. Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up the floor to questions. Question? We have a mic, so just raise your hand.
I guess you said you thought you were going into a sabbatical after realizing you didn't want to be a sports striker, but what made you want this job in particular if you were getting back into coaching?
In 1 month's time, I realized I want to be a coach. I knew that before. And in June, I could have been a coach in Holland. I got several offers to be a coach again, but I didn't want to rush and make a too quick decision. And then what I told just now, the club, the potential, the desire, the commitment, the people. And we were at the Houston game. And for me, MLS 10 years ago was televised, and you saw all the lines from American football on the pitch. But that's over now. It's really, the league is really getting better. And at the home game, the bottom of the table, 26,000 people, and so enthusiastic and positive. That's also a good reason to come over. And what I like, I come from the north of Holland, and I'm not a farmer, but it's a farmer region. And I know if I say now Cincinnati is a farmer region, there will be people who will not be glad maybe. But I like the mentality here. And the club wants to be part of this mentality and this culture. And so that's enough to come over, because I'm coming here for building up the club. But also, we had a great life in Holland. We love our country. But for us, it's a great adventure to live in the United States. And we will experience that, and that's, for us, it's also very important. So if you are as gentle as you were now, I think that will be all right.
So do you think you would be coaching regardless, or was it just this club that made you, and Gerard coming to you and asking if you were interested, that kind of made you want to get back into it?
Yeah, it's not only Gerard, but it's, for me, it's a pleasure that we know each other very well. We work together very pleasantly and successfully. But the potential of the club, it's bottom of the table. So it can only go better. So yeah, let's do it.
Ron, congratulations, welcome to Cincinnati. I wonder if you could tell us about the assistant coaching situation, and Gerard, if you wanted to speak to this as well. What did you both like about having Johan and Jack in the picture for years to come now?
Yeah, maybe it's good that I answering this question. If you appoint a new head coach, it's not only appoint a new head coach, it's also to appoint a new technical staff. And you have to observe who are in the club already. You have your talks with the people who are already in. And from there on, you looked to the good to find out what could be the good fit with your new head coach, with the assistant coach, with everyone who is part of the technical team. And I make the decision together with the people around me that this team is the best fit. Johan de Maar, I don't have to say more about him, what I said already. We are very happy and pleased that he is staying not anymore as a coach, interim coach, but now as assistant coach. Ron brings a new assistant coach from the Netherlands. I know him also very well. He was also working in PEC Zwolle in the past, and after he get his experience in other clubs in the Netherlands, but also here in America. He was player and coach in Dutch Lions, not far away from here. So he knows also the soccer in America and the other members of the team. So it's not only appoint a new head coach, but it's also appoint a new technical staff and to create that could fit, who bring people together, who can help each other, who competitive to each other, and who can build the club together.
Maybe I can add some things, because in a few days I had 4 long talks with Johan about his way of seeing football, soccer, how he trains and how he prepares the team. I could see on video training sessions, preparation for the games, and I think it's really a click. But we will know that in the future. But I really believe in working together as a staff, as a team. I'm the head coach, but I'm not the boss. But I try to be a good leader, and maybe I can help him on that, because there was so much pressure on his shoulders because of the results, and he was doing a good job. But the pressure is now on my shoulders, and I'm delighted to do that. But I'm really looking forward to work together with the staff and with Johan. And in Columbus Crew is the next game, and it's an important game, because Columbus is not so far away. So, but the preparation and the opponent, information about the opponent, is much more Johan Damet than Ron Jans. So we'll work together. Fine.
Ron, welcome to Cincinnati. Wanted to think a little bit about your time at PEC Zwolle before coming here. Not one of the largest clubs in Holland, obviously, but you guys have had a lot of success and probably got them to punch a bit above their weight. Do you see that as an appeal in FC Cincinnati, a club that's not had a lot of success yet, and potentially a smaller market, and looking at getting them to be a similar style club of more than the sum of their parts?
Yeah, I was, my roots are with 2 clubs in Holland. That's PEC Zwolle. I was born there. I was playing in the academy. I came into the first team and became the captain. I was sold to FC Groningen, and that's the second club. And the 4 years in PEC Zwolle, everybody told me, don't go to PEC Zwolle because maybe they go down and it's bad for your career. But I saw the team, I talked to people, and I thought, it feels good in my hometown. And we had a very, very successful period. The first 3 years were like a dream. But I also had 8 years in Groningen. I started during the season, like now. And they 8 games, 1 point. And Groningen is a pretty big club in Holland. And I started over there, and we stayed in. That was the first year. That was our goal. And after that, a new stadium, like here, big players, Luis Suarez, and he's the most famous, but several international players played for our club. We played international football, and I think if this will happen here too, they are good examples for how it should go in the future.
So what kind of playing style do you think you will implement going forward in the short term and then later in the long term when you're shaping the roster?
It always takes time to change everything in the way of playing football. And I also can understand that I like to press high and to win the ball as soon as possible. But when it's 80 degrees or more, you cannot expect the players to chase opponents down 90 minutes. But that's one thing for sure. If you can put pressure, I'm not the type of player, and it doesn't fit to this club, to just defend and wait for mistakes and play the counter-attack football. We try to build up from behind. When we lose the ball, very important, try to recover the ball as soon as possible. And that are, for me, the principles of playing football is play football. So build up from behind and be very aggressive with high intensity when you don't have the ball. And they are already showing things of that. I saw 2 games live and 5 games on video. The Toronto away game, the first half, leave it. But the second half, you could see some things putting pressure, and they scored a goal by winning the ball, 1 pass, 1 shot, and a goal. And I hope we can produce more of that situations.
This is kind of an off-the-field question, but you seem like you're a bit of a funny guy, have a good personality. We've seen video of you dancing on stage. Do you feel like that personality can help build a winning culture in a team that might be a little down?
I'm convinced that I can, and I'm not here to be funny, but I like living, and I like to have fun, but I have fun a lot when we win. And for me, I really hope to inspire people individually and also in a team. And that's how I am, and that's my style. And maybe I can change my style, but that's who I am. And so I like to have fun, but fun is not the right word. I like to be positive. I like to have energy. I like to inspire. And I hope you will see that on the pitch also, because the last 2 years I was a sports director and I worked. But for the rest of my life, I never worked. I was engaged in football and soccer. And for me, I'm very thankful, grateful for my life. And I would like to continue that and even more. I think this period can enrich our lives even more. But I'm not going to dance. But when we win the championship, okay, I'll dance.
Will it be the same moves, or you got some new ones you're working on?
I'm very
Must
impulsive.
be new ones.
We won the cup.
Not good for the camera.
Yeah, but I got sometimes famous in Holland for doing a dance, and that's not why I came over here.
Gerard, I assume you yourself are still kind of getting to know the league. Are there any added challenges now having a coach that also will need to get to know the league? And then Ron, if you could follow with whether you think that's a challenge for you.
The good thing about this league is that they play the same rules as in Europe, so there is no difference. Football, soccer is universal. That's not that's in the rules, but also in the communication. That's easy, so you can put Spanish people together, you can put American, some Dutch flavor in it. So that's universal. And of course, I'm learning every day, but that was also my time in the Netherlands. If you not learn, you have to stop your job. So also here, I'm learning every day, and that will also Ron do it the same. And we have very good professional people around us. The technical staff, what I mentioned already, to create that fit. So the new assistant coach has his experience already in America as a player and also as a coach. Johan, already a lot of experience in MLS. So that is something these guys can help Ron. But also sometimes it's good that you don't know everything, because that makes your mind fresh and you can go head up forward to make your decisions, how you think you have to make your decisions. So I think it will go working well, and we will help each other to go through this period.
Yeah, for me, it's less important what the opponents do, but what we do. That you can see we get better. We are in progress. And on other things, I have to adapt to the situation. Because I read an interview with Frank de Boer from Atlanta. It's more difficult here to play away games because of the traveling, the weather. In Colorado, you play on, I think, 2,000 meters. I call it meters.
Altitude.
Altitude. Sometimes you have time differences. So it's much more difficult, because when you train too hard, you're not fresh enough to play the games, and you need your energy. So that's what we have to find out. But I've got all the help I could wish, so we'll be all right.
The last 10 games remaining, what would you say is a realistic expectation for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I expected that question. Good question. In the first week, I'm going to talk with all the players individually, and also with staff members. And I always like to have a common goal, and so it's obvious. You hope it's a little bit of a new start, so maybe fresh energy comes, but we want to see that we are not accepting that we're last and that we lose a lot of games. We have to turn that around. So we have to see the energy in the team, and what you want to see, that you have to show that also in the results. 10 games, more home games than away games. What I said, I would like to first talk and have a common goal than just a personal goal.
Over here, Ron, you mentioned how significant the gesture of Jeff Birding coming to talk with you and your wife was. What made that gesture so significant in the process, and what did he tell you guys?
It's more the first test. I saw it as a test with Cody Parsons and Mike Ford. Then the conversation with the talk with Jeff, but especially the 4 days we were here. The schedule was really full. I talked and talked and talked, but if it's we were at Carl's house. I spoke a lot with Johan, and all that. There's so much potential in this club, and I can understand the bottom of the table in their first year, but there's so much to win, and the desire, the facilities. Jeff showed me the round. I hope I will be there when the new stadium is ready. The training center here, the pitches are already very, very well, but it will be great. And the organization, they're doing everything to get good quality, good people. The team, I think there will be changes in the future, but first for me is to work with this team and see how they're doing and who's fitting into the future plans. And the future is bright. So let's go and work for that.
We have time for one last question before we do the photo op.
What are your thoughts about playing Columbus, the big derby, in the first game?
That's too early for me to say yet, because in Holland they televise a lot of MLS games, but never Columbus and Cincinnati, because they're not top of the table. It's more LA and Atlanta and Washington. So I didn't see them yet. And what I said before, I'm not so much interested in Columbus Crew. I leave that to Johan and the other staff members. But I will see some video and know their qualities. But for me, it's more important what we do. And also in that, I'm not going to change everything 180 degrees. It's teamwork. And I'm coming in now and saw 4, 5 games on video and 2 live games. So I have to accept that I need also a little bit of time, but time comes.
Okay. With that, we'll wrap up questions. We're going to get the table moved out of the way. We'll take a photo op.
Wat gaan we doen? Foto. Oh, de foto. Moeten we het jasje nou niet aan?
Nee.
Hold it right here. Stand next to each other, shoulder to shoulder, like you like each other.
Ga jij nou zeggen dat we een jasje aan moeten?
Had je niet verwacht, hè?
Nee. Trash man.
Okay.
Which camera?
All of them.
Jeff's camera. We focus on Jeff's camera. Yeah.
Everyone good on the star? Okay, swap it.
Okay.
We'll do the front,
First the front and then
then the back.
Yeah.
Front, then back.
That's nice.
Okay, switch to the back. Just make sure it's.
How we pronounce the name, Liz?
How would you like your name pronounced?
Jans.
Jan, that's what it is.
I didn't know the number.
Yes. You're a creative 10. You were a creative 10.
It's 19.
Oh, 19. That's the bench. That's the second striker.
I was always part of the first 11.
It's for the season.
Yeah, okay, it's good.
Okay, thanks
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you.